Have you noticed any changes in your local water supply due to climate change? Water scarcity affects us all from rural communities to bustling cities. How do you think that we can strike a balance between urban and rural water needs? If you wanted to know all about that, stick to the video till end and don't forget to like, share and subscribe to the channel. Hello everyone and welcome back to Climate Crunch YouTube channel. Today we're addressing a growing concern that hitting close to homes: water scarcity due to climate change in the USA. Let's dive right in. And now we are going to discuss effects and its solutions step by step, and number 1 is the growing water scarcity crisis. In this segment, we set the stage for the discussion by highlighting that water scarcity is a growing problem in the USA. And it's not limited to the dry regions like Southwest. We emphasize that climate change is a significant driver of this crisis and introduce the idea that water scarcity is affecting both urban and rural areas across the country. Water scarcity, once regarded as primarily an issue for the arid regions, has now become the nationwide concern. Even traditionally, water-rich areas are grappling with the challenges of declining freshwater resources. This transformation is primarily attributed to the adverse impact of climate change, which is causing shift in precipitation patterns, more frequent and prolonged droughts, and increased evaporation rates. These climatic changes are altering the availability of water resources across the urban and rural landscape, impacting both the daily lives of city dwellers and livelihoods of farmers in the rural regions. Next up, moving on to number 2, the role of climate change. In this segment, we delve into the role of climate change in exacerbating water scarcity. We explain how rising temperatures contribute to more frequent and severe droughts, and we highlight the concept of increased evaporation, which reduce the availability of freshwater resources. This segment underscores the critical link between climate change and water scarcity. The impact of climate change on water scarcity cannot be overstated. As temperature continues to rise due to the changing climate, the frequency and severity of droughts have significantly increased. These prolonged periods of water scarcity strain freshwater sources that communities rely for drinking water, agriculture, industry, and ecosystem health. Next up, segment number 3, impact on agriculture and food security. Water scarcity isn't just an environmental issue, it's an economic one too. Agriculture, a backbone of our nation, is particularly vulnerable. Farmers are grappling with the reduced water allocations, leading to the crop failures and increased food prices. Next up, segment number 4, challenges for urban areas. In this segment, we shift the focus to urban areas and elaborate how water scarcity affects the cities. We discuss issues like water restrictions, rising cost of water utilities, and the strain on aging urban water infrastructure. This segment highlights the relevance of water scarcity for urban dwellers. Cities across the USA are increasingly feeling the impact of water scarcity as freshwater resources become scarcer. Municipalities are compelled to implement water restrictions, often limiting the days and times when residents can use water for non-essential purposes. This, in return, affects the daily life from maintaining lawns and gardens to washing cars. Rising costs of water utilities are another pressing concern for the urban residents. As the demand for water increases, the infrastructure requires maintenance and upgrades to accommodate a growing populations. Utility bills are on the rise, putting additional financial strain on the households. Next up, our segment number 5, ecosystems under threat. Our natural ecosystems are also suffering. Aquatic habitats such as river and wetlands are at risk. These areas are vital for biodiversity and provide ecosystem services that benefits us all. Next up, segment number 6, steps towards sustainability. In this segment, we transition to a more positive note by discussing potential solutions. We introduce the idea that there are actions individuals, communities, and policymakers can take to address the water scarcity. This segment sets the stage for discussing solutions in the subsequent segment. Aimed at the challenges for the water scarcity, there is a room for optimism. By implementing proactive measures and adopting sustainable practices, we can address this crisis and build a more water-resilient future. Individuals can play their part by conserving water in their daily lives, from fixing leaks and reducing water waste to make informed choices about water-intensive activities. And now next up, last but not the least, segment number 7, the power of conservation. In this segment, we zoom into the power of water conservation, underscoring its crucial role in addressing water scarcity. We emphasize that individuals have the capacity to make a significant difference in their daily lives by adopting water-saving practices. This includes simple yet impactful actions like fixing leaks, using water-efficient appliances, and being mindful of water usage in the household chores. However, our message extends beyond the individual level. We stress that advocating for policy changes is equally vital. Policy changes can drive large-scale conservation efforts, such as the adoption of stricter regulations on water usage and the promotion for sustainable land use practices. And that's it, that's the wrap up of this video. As we conclude today's episode, it's clear that water scarcity in the USA is a multifaceted challenge that demands our attention. The impact on our environment, economy, and the daily lives is undeniable. Remember, the fight against climate change requires all of us to take action. Stay informed, stay engaged, and together we can make a positive impact. Thanks for joining us on Climate Crunch YouTube channel.